1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18 stands as a cornerstone of Christian eschatology, the study of end times. This passage, penned by Paul the Apostle, offers a vivid description of the second coming of Jesus Christ. Paul consoles the Thessalonians, grieving the loss of loved ones, with the promise of their resurrection and reunion with Christ upon his return. He details a dramatic event marked by a trumpet call, the descent of Jesus from heaven and the rising of the dead to meet him in the air. This passage has reverberated throughout Christian history, shaping beliefs about the afterlife and the ultimate fate of humanity. It has fueled anticipation, inspired art and literature, and provided solace in times of tribulation. However, it has also been the subject of intense scrutiny and debate. The vivid imagery and specific claims within these verses raise critical questions about their historical context, intended meaning and feasibility in light of modern understanding. Is this passage meant to be interpreted literally or metaphorically? Have the prophecies it contains come to pass? These questions lie at the heart of our exploration as we delve into the complexities of biblical prophecy and its impact on Christian belief. We must approach this text with a critical yet respectful lens, acknowledging its profound influence while rigorously examining its claims against the backdrop of history and reason. To fully grasp the significance of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18, we must first understand the historical context in which it was written. Paul penned this letter to the Christian community in Thessalonica, a community grappling with persecution and anxiety. These early Christians, newly converted from paganism, faced hostility from their neighbors and uncertainty about their own fate. Many believed that the end of the world was imminent and the return of Jesus was near. Within this context of fear and anticipation, Paul's words offered comfort and hope. His description of the second coming served as a powerful reminder that their suffering was temporary and that ultimate victory belonged to Christ. Understanding this historical context is crucial for interpreting Paul's words. Were his descriptions meant to be taken literally as precise predictions of future events? Or were they intended as metaphorical reassurances, offering hope and solace to a community in distress? This question of literal versus metaphorical interpretation continues to fuel debate among biblical scholars today. Some argue that Paul's words are meant to be understood as a factual account of the end times, while others see them as symbolic representations of God's power and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. By considering the historical context of Paul's letter, we can begin to appreciate the complexities of interpreting ancient texts and the challenges of applying their message to our own time. A central theme in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18, is the imminence of Christ's return. Paul reassures the Thessalonians that those who have died will rise first when Jesus returns. This suggests that Paul, and likely the Thessalonians, believed this event was not far off, perhaps even within their lifetimes. This expectation of an imminent second coming was widespread in the early Christian community. However, as time passed and Jesus did not return, this belief was challenged. The passing centuries raised questions about the accuracy of this prediction and the validity of biblical prophecy. How do we reconcile this apparent discrepancy between expectation and reality? Some argue that the delay does not negate the prophecy, merely highlighting the limitations of human understanding of God's timeline. Others propose that the second coming may be a more symbolic event, not bound by linear time. This debate underscores the challenges of interpreting prophetic language and reconciling ancient beliefs with modern perspectives. It compels us to grapple with the possibility that our understanding of time and history may differ significantly from those who lived in the first century. Ultimately, the question of whether the delay of the second coming invalidates its promise remains a matter of ongoing theological debate and personal interpretation. The question of fulfilled prophecies is central to any discussion of the second coming. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 16 speaks of a trumpet call heralding Jesus' descent and the dead in Christ rising first. This imagery echoes other biblical prophecies. painting a vivid picture of a cosmic event observable by all. Yet, history offers no evidence of such a universal cataclysmic event. The dead have not risen, nor has the world ended. This discrepancy between prophecy and historical reality presents a significant challenge to the literal interpretation of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18. Proponents of a literal second coming often point to ongoing global events as signs of the end times. Wars, natural disasters and social unrest are interpreted as fulfilling biblical prophecies. However, such interpretations are often subjective and open to debate. Critics argue that these events, while tragic, are not unprecedented and fit within the natural patterns of human history. The lack of a universally acknowledged fulfillment of the specific prophecies outlined in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18, raises valid questions about their accuracy. It compels us to consider whether a literal interpretation of these prophecies is tenable in light of our current understanding of history and the universe. The question of fulfilled prophecies remains a point of contention between those who hold differing views on the second coming.